Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Malika K. Fowler of Malika's International, seeking to make all lives actualize and inspire through kind actions. I am passionate about inspiring change through interconnectedness and taking compassionate actions towards our fellow human beings. Today, I'd like to continue the conversation and connect with you and talk a little bit about fear. I believe fear is freedom exists, appearing real. I do want to send you or share with you, I would like to share with you and send you a few words of encouragement to help you cope with ways of dealing with fear, to encourage you, to help you come to a place where your doubt about fear is in a much healthier way than a negative understanding of fear. I have no doubt that many of us are living with fear, disbelief, misunderstanding, and resentment, which might naturally, it might just be a natural phenomenon in light of our world, our environment, or whatever the situation would be for you. I'm going to suggest that fear and uncertainty do not solve any problems, but instead it creates more worries. Fear is often a mindset that feeds our thoughts to what? To cause us to act with misleading intentions. Yes, fear is freedom exists, appearing real. But that freedom that exists and appearing real is also an unknown. And that's where we misinterpret and misrepresent fear. Because fear of that unknown is a natural human predisposition. However, fear of the unknown is not necessarily the answer to address difficult tasks that lays ahead of us in our life. No. Why? Why is it not the answer to be fearful? Why fear is not the answer? I believe that the answer to difficult tasks that lays ahead of us in life resides in how still we can be, and during those times of our stillness, how we can take vital actions surrounding our problems and concerns, okay, to our higher power, whatever it is for you. However, it is to think about how am I coping, or how am I or you are dealing with the situation to help you move forward, help me move forward in the face of fear. So, ladies and gentlemen, with the reality of our world today that have left us seeking, wanting to know, wanting to understand, under the umbrella of seeking, with a sense of uncertainty, with a sense of uneasiness, it is believed that we are faced with what? With unpredictability and underlying phenomena and or underlying circumstances in the next what? endless time to come in the next, what is maybe the next several months for some people, next several days, years to come. But we live in an interconnected world, and we are all not on the same vibration. We wish that we can all be on the same vibration, but we're not all on the same vibration. Therefore, for each of us, we are going to be faced with different situations at a different time, and or a given time to us that what is needed for us to be facing. So I want you to think about that, in spite of all of that various disposition I'm pointing out to, it is imperative that we accept, we acknowledge, and we trust the reality of our life results, and we move beyond the phase of fear to where we are beginning to learn, where we are learning how to heal our differences, how to heal our misunderstanding, how to seek and get information, the information that exists, that is appearing real. Here's the most beautiful thing about fear. When you have allowed yourself, as your human being, to look at fear as one of the fundamental building blocks of our humanness, because fear is part of the engine of our humanness, and within that engine there are different components and parts. Inside of that, fear is one of those things, and fear is actually one of the human currency as part of that fundamental building block of our humanness that is part of that engine. Fear is one of our core human currency. Without fear, you simply is not a conscious being, because fear is a sense of awareness. Fear is a sense of mindfulness. But you have to interpret fear in those phases as a sense of awareness and sense of mindfulness. So here's the most beautiful part of it. Upon reaching the height of your humanness, upon reaching the height of your human kindness, you can begin to take corrective actions. You can begin to take those corrective actions towards peace, towards an understanding, towards being mindful, towards being aware. Now, how is this going to correlate with fear? When I refer to Albert Einstein, who stated that peace cannot be kept by force. Yeah, peace cannot be kept by force. Fear cannot be accepted by force. He said it can only be achieved by understanding. So paraphrasing Albert Einstein with his direct quote, he said peace cannot be kept by force. It only be achieved by understanding. I wanted to credit Mr. Einstein about what he said, but think about fear. Fear is not accepted by force, because fear is a space where you have to be able to understand. It's an understanding space. It's a space of awareness. It's a space of mindfulness. So in our life, in days to come, it's going to be very crucial that we take the right actions necessary that focus on influencing our mind, our thoughts, the way we look at life. We want to live our life on a day-to-day basis towards supporting the process of what? Interconnectedness. Because supporting the process of interconnectedness is also seeking to improve your life. Because here's another point that Albert Einstein said. He said a human being is a part of a whole called by us universe. A part limited in time and space. The world from my studies, lots of research I've done, the world is more interconnected than you and I may ever know. So why? Why is the world interconnected? We can go back and draw ourselves down into science. It's only now in the 21st century of more in the 21st century. It was latter 20th century, 19th, 20th century, but more in the 21st century when science began to embrace the fact that yes, this world is interconnected. Your brains, your every existence of yourself within your body is fully connected to something that may not have any correlation with whatever parts of your body, but it's been proven is interconnected. It is the exact explanation to talk about. You and I are fully interconnected with everything and everyone on so many multitude of dimensions. And because of that interconnection, like Albert Einstein, who said human being is a part of the whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. That to say, this world is interconnected. So we must, saying we must is very, very specific to say that. We must allow ourselves to become aware of our brothers and sisters. We want to seek to respect them. We want to seek to understand who they are. And what we want to do? We want to seek that we can create a sense of mindfulness while acting in a compassionate way. And then that takes us back to the common phrase I always use, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We cannot focus on fear because it has been said that fear isn't real. But look at fear in the new light as freedom exists and appearing real. Fear is the mindset. Fear brings into play situation that seems not to even exist. But what is created by what? It is created by our minds. And our minds create these phases of fear, not to help us, but to allow us to have a view being short-sighted, because fear allows our view to be short-sighted while we're missing certain observable facts of a given situation and people. Why? Because what fear does, fear comes and feeds our state of being. In what? In an exact opposite way, even though the reality is precisely the same. In what? In some objective terms or some objective findings. So here's the thing. It is not really what it is, but perhaps rather what you might be thinking. It is based on your life experiences, which formulate your worldview. You know, ladies and gentlemen, by now you can distinguish the face of fear and be in the present, because fear only the contribution of fear to the mind or to our mind creates circumstances that become destructive or productive, because our mindset allows what? It allows us to create what? These circumstances that could be good for us or could be bad. So here's the thing within each of us. Each of us have the ability or power to be fearless, to be kind, to be forgiving, to be respectful, humble, compassionate, and have a great attitude towards situation regarding our fellow man. Here's another thing Mr. Albert Einstein said. He said we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created it. Absolutely not. And that's why it is very essential that we have a great attitude that fuels and propels our human spirit, Our human spirit to drive with the potential of making our lives and the lives of others better. Because when we believe in ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, we are able to act on our own strength and abilities. We then will be able to answer deeper questions from within us. As I leave you today, I want you to think very deeply about your capability, about whatever you set your mind to in accomplishing and achieving whatever you want in your life. I want you to believe that your beliefs have the ability to shape your mindset and shape your lives, and allow fear to be freedom exists and appearing so real. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to thank you for yet another video. I look forward to talking to you about the state of fear. Thank you and have a beautiful day. Goodbye.